All right, we are going live. All right, we are going to be making something special today. Okay, this is something Italian. People have been asking me, Mr. Wrath, you need to shoot things that are more ethnically good, and so here I am. I'm going to be shooting. I'm going to be making Italian spaghetti with hot dogs. Okay, so this is absolute goodness. Right here, I have some Oscar Mayer wieners. They're uncured. I like to cook fresh foods, so I got uncured, no preservatives, and I have some authentic spaghetti. It's a neighborhood tradition going on right here. All right, it's really good, absolute goodness. Got some spaghetti sauce that I'm going to be using, and I'm boiling the water right here that I'm going to be cooking the noodles in. All right, so I'm going to get started. So first, we are going to be cutting up the meat, the fresh meat that I have right here, the wieners, Oscar Mayer wieners, really good, very trusted company, known for having fresh meat. All right, so got to get this, open it up. All right, pulling this out. Take out a couple of the wieners. All right, set the rest of the meat aside. Maybe make something a little bit later with that. And so I'm just gonna cut the wieners. Put that in there so you can see. We don't need to see the boiling water yet. So I'm just gonna zoom in on the wieners. All right. Now it is important that you cut them correctly, like straight up and down, right? So the recipe comes out well. Okay, so I'm going to just cut them like this, like 3/4 inch slices. Cut the wiener like that, and I'm going to get the rest of the meat out. Good meat. There's also a vegan version of this. Like there's going to be a month where I just do nothing but cook all the greatest, best vegan foods like ramen noodles. Yeah, it is. It's Italian spaghetti sauce. I'm going to show you. Marley just said this isn't spaghetti sauce, but this is spaghetti sauce. I'm going to show you. I'm a chef. Remember, Marley. I'm not. I didn't just wake up yesterday and start being like, oh man, I'm just going to make the world's best ramen noodles and the best Italian spaghetti. Like I'm a chef. Look at my resume. If you're just checking, if you want to see my educational profile, go to the About Me part of my YouTube channel and read my educational background. I am trained, really trained, okay? So check that out. I'm going to get finished doing this, okay? I'm just going to cut the rest of the wieners like that. Okay, so now that I have the wieners cut like this, I am ready to start the next session of my cooking, okay? So I'm going to bring out the spaghetti noodles. These are fresh spaghetti noodles. It's traditional spaghetti noodles, all right? Straight from the motherland, Italy. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the noodle and I'm just going to go through the hot dog just like this, okay? And I'm going to do a couple of them just like this. Just boom. Boom. So keep on doing this. So once you get the noodles to go in like this, you're in business. All right, I'm going to put 4 of them in like that. Turn the heat down over here. And I'm just going to go through the rest of these like this. Okay? Just cut through them like that. Kind of like a shish kebab almost, but not really. All right? And pull them through. Do the same thing right here. Pull them through. I'm going to do about like maybe 4 or 5 pieces of the wiener on each one, right? And I'm going to pull it through. And then once I pull it through, I'm going to even them out just like this. You see that? Absolute goodness, right? Absolute goodness. Now I'm going to do this again. I'm going to take a couple more of these. Maybe like 5 or 6 noodles, right? And I am going to do the same thing. Like boom. Pull that through a little bit. Absolute goodness. That's right, Pizza Hut. All right. Push that a little bit through. Go through the next one. And then the next one. This is kind of actually fun. It's kind of like I'm sewing, right? I'm sewing hot dogs with spaghetti. Absolute goodness. This is traditional Italian right here, okay, you guys? So you make this for your family or whatnot. You can be like, I'm making you some traditional Italian dish. All right, I'm going to do a couple more, and then we're going to get started on this. And then we'll go on to the next phase of the course meal. One of these days, I'm going to do like a 5-course Italian dish meal for you guys, how they do in Italy. This is just one recipe that I got. This came from straight from Italy. All right, going to put it like that. 2, 3, pull that through, and one more. All right, I'm gonna do one more, and that's it. And we're gonna get cooking. I hear the water boiling, and we're gonna get this food going. If you're just joining in, this is Italian spaghetti with hot dog. Okay, traditional Italian meal, loved by all Italians everywhere. If you make this for an Italian person, they'll look at you and be like, this guy knows what he's talking about. This person knows what they're talking about. You know, usually serve this with some red wine, a little bit of olive oil on top, maybe some Parmesan cheese. One more, and then we're going to get to cooking, all right? Turn the fire up a little bit, and I'm going to put the noodles away in a second. So let me sew this through. And put that through. All right. Boom. Boom. Shaka laka laka laka. All right. We got that. All right. So we're going to put some of the food away. And then we're going to get started on the second part. Okay? Rinse off my hands. All right. We're cooking. It smells good, right? Absolute goodness, if you ask me. Absolute goodness. All right, we're going to zoom back out. Zoom back out, pull up. All right. All right, we got that going. So now we're going to add the spaghetti noodles to the pot. But before we do that, for flavor and absolute goodness, we're going to have to add some salt to the pot, okay? So I'm going to add a little bit of salt to the water. I learned this from Italian people themselves. Add some salt to the water before you put the noodles in. It adds a tremendous amount of flavor. All right, so I have that going. And now I'm going to add the noodles, all right? Going to add the noodles. Got these right here. Just going to place this inside. Boom. Let that cook for about like 10 minutes or so. And we'll get started. While that's going, we're going to have to, usually like in Italian dishes, they have like maybe 2 or 3 course meals. So, but this one's going to be a 2-course meal. And with that said, we're going to be making a jelly and peanut butter sandwich. Grilled, okay? Absolute goodness, all right? So, the reason why I say jelly and peanut butter sandwich is because a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, you have the peanut butter on top and the jelly on the bottom. Now, I don't like my sandwiches like that. I think they taste horrible with the jelly on the bottom and the peanut butter on top. So I'm going to make a jelly and peanut butter sandwich where the jelly's on top and the peanut butter's on bottom. All right? Now let's get started. So first we have our pan, right? We're going to put some butter in the pan and heat that up. If you ever made a grilled sandwich, you need some butter. Right here, I'm just going to put a little bit of butter inside of the pan. Like boom shakalaka, right? Put some butter in the pan. And then I'm going to turn the pan on. Check on the noodles, make sure that they're becoming absolute goodness. All right. There we go. Tilt down a little bit. I'm actually going to cook it over here. That way you can see a little bit more. So I'm going to turn the fire up a little bit. And I am going to start to get my sandwich ready. So there's the bread. I'm using whole wheat bread because I'm trying to, do healthy recipes for you all. Make sure you're all eating healthy. And I'm just going to start putting, the thing together. All right? So, jelly and peanut butter. I gotta get peanut butter. So right here I have Jiffy peanut butter, right? And then I have Smucker's jelly, right? All right. So in order to do a jelly and peanut butter sandwich, first I'm going to add the peanut butter. Okay. So pull out the peanut butter, right? Pull out the peanut butter, and then put it on the sandwich like that. Absolute goodness. And spread it out. Spread out the peanut butter. You want to spread it evenly. All right, put it out like that. Absolute goodness, all right? So now the peanut butter's on the bottom. Now we're here, okay? We're going to put the jelly on the top for the jelly and peanut butter sandwich, not a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. All right, so you're going to take the jelly, and you're going to scoop out a little bit, and then you're going to put that on. Oh, wow, the spaghetti smells good. I can smell it. All right. So put the jelly on there, probably a little bit more jelly. Boom, that smells good. Absolute goodness, if you ask me. All right, and then we're going to put the jelly on top just like that. And then once it's on top, we're going to put it inside of the pan, move the butter around, and just soak up the butter in there and like start to get it to toast. And we're going to turn the pan down to medium high, or maybe to medium, and just let that cook. Meanwhile, we're going to check on the noodles to make sure that they're cooking properly. We want them to be al dente, so you have to watch them carefully to make sure they're not overcooking, but also at the same time to make sure that they're cooked. So that's going well. So while that's cooking, right, we're going to pull out some other stuff. We're going to get some seasonings for the spaghetti, okay? Pull that out. All right, we're going to get this and that, and this and that, and then boom. All right, got the ingredients for this. Okay, so we have Italian seasoning. You see that? Straight from Italy. You can't have spaghetti without Italian seasoning. And we have some olive oil. That's all we're going to be adding to it because the flavor from the noodles are going to really pull out the flavor, all the stuff. So, got that going. I'm just going to check on the sandwich to see how that's going. All right. Oh man, it's toasting nice. I'm gonna just turn it up a little bit. Get that going. Just keep that frying like that. And so the noodles are about done. They're cooking quite fast. All right, so we're gonna give that about another minute. Then we're gonna pull that out, and then we're gonna get it cranking. So while that's going, I'm gonna just go ahead and get a seasoning. Pour the seasoning in there. Got some oregano, and then I'm gonna get the garlic, right? Put some garlic in there for flavoration. All right, absolute goodness if you ask me. All right, and then I'm just gonna get a touch of salt, okay? Touch of salt, pour that in there for the flavoration. All right, and now the noodles are about done, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna strain the noodles, and then we're gonna go from there, all right? So, let me find the strainer. What did I do with the strainer? Voila. Okay, there it is. All right, so strain the noodles. And then we're going to be eating. All right, let me go ahead and flip this sandwich because I know it's toasting pretty well. Yeah, man, absolute goodness. Whoa. Put a little bit of butter left in the pan on that side to make sure it soaks up the goodness of the butter. Whoa, almost dropped that. Not good. Boom. Look at that, butter frying. Put that underneath. And then just swirl it around and let that cook, all right? Absolute goodness. All right, I'm gonna take this spaghetti right here. Butter saved, did you see that? That was a good catch, right? I should have played in MLB. All right, so I got this spaghetti. I'm going to turn the fire off, and I'm going to strain the noodles. I am going to put them in a bowl. All right? Give me a second. I'm coming back. You didn't lose me. All right? So, I got the noodles right here. No, I have Teflon hands. Okay? So, I have this. Look at it. Don't that look good? Italian spaghetti right there. Absolute goodness, if you ask me. Absolute goodness. So, I'm going to put this in the bowl like that. All right? Got that in there. Doesn't that look good? Absolute goodness. All right? And then I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of the seasoning on top, right? Sprinkle a little bit of the seasoning. Got the spaghetti sauce. And then I'm just going to put the spaghetti sauce sparingly on there. Absolute goodness. And a little bit of olive oil, all right? Absolute goodness, if you ask me. All right, now the sandwich is done. I'm going to take my spatula and then I'm going to fork it over like this. Don't fork it on the floor, all right? Just fork it over like that. And voila, there you have it. An Italian dish right here. Italian spaghetti with a jelly and peanut butter sandwich. Who's hungry? Who wants a bite of this? It's good stuff, right? Absolute goodness, if you ask me. No, it's spaghetti sauce. It's spaghetti sauce. I'm a chef. It's Italian spaghetti sauce, Pizza Hut. All right, so that's a dish. Who else wants me to keep on cooking? Because, I still have energy. I can cook some more food. All right, I'm going to keep on cooking. So what else do I have in here? I'm going to cook corned beef hash. Absolute goodness, right? So I'm going to cook corned beef hash with some eggs. Let me get the eggs out. I'm going to make an omelet. Oh, wow. I'm going to make an omelet, a 3-egg omelet. I'm going to make hash browns, right? Hash browns, absolute goodness. Corned beef hash, omelet, a caviar. I'm going to make a caviar omelet. Yep, CL Hart, I'm about to bring it. I am going to make a caviar omelet with a side of corned beef hash and cheese. Very Italiano right here, okay? Absolute goodness. Look at it. That's a dish. Look at that, okay? It doesn't get more Italian than that. Yes, caviar. It's fancy. I've been making a lot of my recipes. Some of my clients are a little bit high end, so they require caviar with their ramen noodles. So I've been making a lot of ramen noodles lately. Yes, fish eggs. That's what caviar is, right? I've been making a lot of fish eggs, caviar with my ramen noodles. But I can also use it with other things like, ta-da, an omelet. I am going to make an omelet, a caviar omelet with a side of hash, corned beef hash. Caviar and cheese omelet. All right, let's get started, okay? So first, I'm going to put away the Italian, or maybe just let you guys look at it for a little bit. Make your mouth water, all right? And then I'm going to get started with the omelet, mixing the omelet, okay? All right, so I have the thing right here. It's absolute goodness, Josh. I'm telling you, absolute goodness. Doesn't get better than that. All right, here are the eggs, right? It's a 3-egg omelet, so just crack the eggs gently. All right, that's 1, 2, and 3. You know what? I'm gonna make a 4-egg omelet because I'm feeling kind of hungry. I don't think this Italian dish can actually fill me up today, so I'm gonna make a 4-egg omelet. All right. All right, here you go. 4-egg omelet. And I'm gonna tell you a little secret, okay? You know, a lot of people don't know this, but when you put cream or buttermilk, I use buttermilk in my omelets. It makes them nice and fluffy, right? So I'm just going to use a bit of buttermilk in there, all right? I'm going to put that up, put that in there, and then I'm going to mix this up. All right, so get that going right there. Got a fork. Gonna mix that up a little bit. Just keep on beating it. Absolute goodness, if you ask me. Absolute goodness. All right, I'm gonna let that sit right there and let the buttermilk marinate in there. And I'm gonna rinse out this pan really quick. Absolute goodness. I can taste it already. It's gonna taste good, okay? All right. All right, got that pan going, okay? So now I'm gonna get the pan, start to heat it up. Okay, I'm gonna move this out of the way, move this on to the side. You guys want to bite? Go ahead, get in there. And then I'm gonna bring out another pan for the corned beef hash, okay? So I'm gonna cook the corned beef hash right there. Actually, I'm gonna cook this both back here on the back burners. Okay, the egg right there, egg omelet right there, and put that right there. So let me turn on the fire on both of these. Okay, so turn that on, turn that on. We're gonna be cooking really good pretty soon. All right, so as this warms up, I'm just gonna cut up a little bit of onion, okay? So I have this onion. Let me set the Italian dish aside, and I'm just gonna cut this up, cut a couple of pieces of the onion up for the hash. All right, let me go. Boom, absolute goodness. All right, cut up the onion. And I'm just gonna slice this like this. Boom, 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 boom. Be careful if you're doing this. Knives are sharp, okay? They're not spoons, all right? So, just gonna cut this up, get this going. Boom, shaka, laka. All right, I'm gonna take this onion and I'm gonna add it to the gray pan over there. That gray pan is where I'm gonna be putting the hash in, okay? So I'm just gonna add this to that, okay? Boom. 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 All right, let's grate the rest of this. Absolute goodness. Oh man, that onion smells good. Absolute goodness, if you ask me. All right, so now we're gonna be doing the corned beef hash. Corned beef hash, okay? That's corned beef and taters inside of there. Right here, this is made by Hormel. It says it's America's #1 selling hash. And to be honest, I think this is the only selling hash in America. Okay, I haven't seen any other brand other than this, but it's good. Mary Kitchen. All right, so we're gonna open this up, a fresh can. Wow, look at that. Look at that. Doesn't that smell fresh? Absolute goodness, if you ask me. Absolute goodness. And I'm just gonna get this out, okay, before I eat it all right? And just put it in the pan. Boom. Boom. Absolute goodness. All right, and just stir that around a little bit and let that start to cook. All right, clean that up. Keep the fork right there. All right. Now we have this pan right here. We're gonna heat this up. Don't forget about the caviar. We're gonna add this to the mixture later, to the omelet later. So the pan is heated up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some cooking spray. I have coconut cooking spray by a lady named Pam. All right, and I am going to spray the pan. All right, give me a second. Be right back. Make sure the hash doesn't burn. All right, so I have that. Spray the pan, and then I'm gonna add egg to the pan. Boom shakalaka. Absolute goodness. Once I add that, I'm gonna turn the pan down a little bit. I had it a little bit too hot, but it's okay. All right, so I'm gonna turn that down a little bit, and then stir up the hash. Absolute goodness. Oh man, this is looking good. All right, and you know what? I'm gonna add a little bit of the seasoning to both the hash and the eggs. All right, absolute goodness. Also to the eggs, I'm gonna add the caviar. For all you fancy people out there who insist on having a little bit fancier meal, I'm gonna add the caviar to it. Look at that. Fresh fish eggs in there, caviar. Absolute goodness, you guys. Absolute goodness. So I'm gonna take my spoon and I'm gonna get in there. See that? Look at that. Look at the fishies. Absolute goodness, right? And I'm just going to sprinkle them in there, just like that. Just like that. Boom. For a little color. Look at that. Boom. 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 Just make sure they're in there evenly. All right. And I bet you guys didn't even notice. Look. It's a picture of me. Look. All right. Look. The mouth, the eyes. Only a chef can do that, you guys. All right? So, I'm going to check on the hash. Stir that up. Turn the pan down a little bit. It's smelling absolutely delicious. Absolute goodness, you guys. All right. Cooking that. All right. Now, as you all know with omelet, you're cooking an omelet, what you do is you take the sides and you pull them in. Right? You pull them in. That way you let the runny part cook. Okay? Pull the sides in just like that. Absolute goodness. Man, this is going to be one incredible fancy omelet right here. All right. Woo! Smelling good. All right. Absolute goodness. All right. Let that cook a little bit more, and then we're going to flip this bad boy. We're going to add cheese. I'm telling you, it's going to be a meal meant for the queen. All right. Get that cooking. Watch the food for me for a second while I finish this up. All right. Make sure nothing burns, you guys. All right, so I got that there. All right. Stir up the hash a little bit more. Hash is really tricky. You got to make sure it gets cooked on all sides, all right? So I'm going to take the caviar, put that to the side, save that for like maybe a sandwich or something, all right? And then I'm going to go back to here and just check on it. I'm going to take my spatula and then check on the bottom. Make sure everything's all good. All right, I'm about to flip this. All right. 1, 2. All right. So the omelet's not turning into an omelet, so we're going to turn it into a scramble, okay? I learned this in chef school. You kind of have to trick out the people who are eating your food because you always have to keep them surprised. I said an omelet, but I did not mean an omelet. I meant a scramble. So that's what we're going to do. And so to make the scramble, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some more seasoning and sprinkle that on there like that. Absolute goodness. All right. Here we go. And we're going to put some cheese on there. All right. Absolute goodness. All right. Got some cheese on there. I'm going to get a couple more pieces of cheese. All right. Here we go. Got some cheese on there. Put some cheese. Boom. Look at that. Absolute goodness. All right. So once we have that, we're going to take the hash, stir it up a little bit, and then put it on right there. Oh, man. Doesn't it look good, you guys? Absolute goodness. All right. Now with the scramble, I like it with a little bit of sauce on there. So I'm going to take some little spaghetti sauce. And I'm going to put it on like that. All right. And a little bit of Frank's Red Hot, okay? I don't know what kind of hot sauce you use, but I use Frank's Head Red Hot. Sprinkle on there. Boom. All right. And then, yes, it's American cheese. I'm American, so I have to put American cheese on there, right? And so I'm going to take this, turn the fire off, and then just stir it just evenly like that. And you know what? If you want to make this a little bit healthier, you can take some spinach. I'm going to take some fresh spinach and just throw that on top. You know, I'm trying to get as many vegetables as I can in a day in my diet. So I got some spinach in there. So I'm going to take this and just stir it in like that. So you have all that. Well, that's how you make hash brown scramble. All right, let me get a plate and put this on. Look at all the color, you guys. Very colorful. So I'm going to get the plate, turn that off over there. And then going to get my plate. You're just going to take that and put it on there like that. Wow. Absolute goodness, if you ask me. Absolute goodness. And so you know what? While I'm going to do that, I'm going to keep that on there. And then I'm also going to put the sandwich. Remember what we had earlier? Put the sandwich right there. And then I'm just going to pour this right here. So that's our meal for the night. Italian spaghetti, hash brown, jelly and peanut butter sandwich. Absolute goodness, okay? Put Frank on that. You want me to put some Franks on that? Yeah, that is a great idea, except for the jelly sandwich. That would make it horrible, right? So I'm going to put some Franks on it. All right. So I'm going to put some Frank's sauce on that. Look at that. How does that look? Absolute goodness, right? I'm going to need a fork for this, right? So get myself a fork. Right there. All right, that's the meal. But you know what? I still have a little bit of energy, so I'm going to keep on cooking. All right, I'm going to put this to the side right here. I'm going to make cheese grits for that. So I'm going to get the bowl ready. All right. Get the bowl ready. And I'm going to put it on the fire. Right? Put it on the fire and get that pot heating up right there. Also, I'm going to wash this pan out, and then we're going to be making fried hot dogs with ramen noodles. All right? So, what I'm going to do right here is get this pan, and then I'm going to get another pot for the ramen noodles. All right? Get this water going. All right, so we have another pot for the ramen noodles. So we're gonna have fires going on over here, right? We're gonna have cheese grits. You know what? I'm gonna make these cheese grits actually. Pepperoni cheese grits. I bet you didn't know anything about that. I'm taking it to another level. All right. So I got pepperoni. I got fresh pepperoni right here. Look at that. Absolute goodness, you guys. And then I have cheese, okay? So what I'm going to do now is turn the fire on for the ramen noodles, right? Get the cheese ready. And then I am going to get the ramen noodles out, all right? We're going to do roasted chicken flavor. This is like my second favorite flavor after regular chicken. Roasted chicken gives that roasted chicken flavor, all right? So we're going to add this. I'm going to put this to the side. We're going to add to it in a second, but I'm going to put this to the side, or maybe it can sit right there, all right? And then I'm going to pull out some grits, okay? All right, right here I have fresh grits. They say they cook in 5 minutes. We'll see about that. All right? And then I'm going to put some grits, add some grits to the pot right there. Absolute goodness, all right? And while the fire's heating up everything, I am going to open up the cheese. What I learned in chef school is that preparation makes the dream work, okay? So I'm prepping the food right now. If any of you guys, I know I inspire a lot of people out there to go to culinary school. When you go to culinary school, always prep your work. It'll make your life a lot easier. That's what my mentor told me before I went to culinary school. And when I went to school, the CIA, Culinary Institute of Arts, okay, they loved me. I graduated magna cum laude because I like to say, because of my culinary prep work, okay? So this is pepperoni right here. How many of you had cheese pepperoni grits? I'm going to put these inside of that, okay? These inside of that. Absolute goodness. So I'm going to stir this up with my spoon. Get that going right there. And now as these cook, it actually thickens up, okay? To the point to where it pops and I get scared, okay? So I'm going to turn that down a little bit lower and let that go, okay? So we're going to do something different. So this is going to be kind of like a fajita type of grits. So it's going to be a little bit different. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add hot dog to this as well too, okay? So I'm going to add the hot dog, the wiener. See, I'm just going to cut it up like that and just add it to the pot. Absolute goodness, all right? Call this fajita grits, okay? So add that to that. And then a little bit of butter, okay? Boom, all right? And then I'm just going to stir it up a little bit. Stir that. Get that going right there. Absolute goodness, if you ask me. Absolute goodness. Now, as that's heating up, what we're going to do is we're going to take a pepperoni. And you know, when it comes to pepperoni, I actually do a lot of pepperoni because I love pepperoni. All right? So I have the pepperoni. And I'm just going to add it to the pot, okay? Just boom. One. Absolute goodness, if you ask me. All right? Throw that in there. Boom. Shaka. Laka. Absolute goodness, if you ask me. Absolute goodness. All right, that's a lot of pepperoni. I think we're up to 10, 12, 13 slices. It doesn't even matter. So once you have that in there, we're just going to add that in there. I'm going to take the cheese, all right, and I'm going to put the cheese in here right on top, all right? Absolute goodness, all right? And let that start to marinate. All right, let that marinate. And there is one other special ingredient, okay? I use fresh garlic, okay? It adds to the flavorations, okay? So I'm gonna take this fresh cloves of garlic. You can get this from the store. Just tear it apart a little bit. Peel back the skin. All right. Absolute goodness. How does this work? All right, there you go. I used to have trouble with this back in culinary school. I actually got in trouble once because I didn't know how to peel garlic. But I told them, yeah, I do. It just takes me a little bit longer. All right, so got this. Got the garlic. All right. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my grater. See this? I'm going to grate a little bit of garlic in the mixture. Okay? Absolute goodness. And they get this one as well, too. Oh, it's smelling fresh. Oops. Get the pillations and put them away. Put the grater away. For the greater good. All right. So, got that going. Next, I'm going to take the ramen noodles. Ramen noodles pot is starting to warm up, so I'm going to get that ready. And I'm just going to take this and just actually get the crunchies out. Eat a couple of crunchies. And take the seasoning. If you know me, I always add the seasoning first because it allows the flavor to permeate through the noodles. All right. So I got that in there. Yeah, no bacon this time though. No bacon today. And then I'm going to put the noodles inside. Absolute goodness. Right? And then pour the rest of the crunchies inside. So while that's cooking, we're almost done with this, okay? We're almost done. And so I'm going to take the pot. Turn the fire off for the grits. Look at that, you guys. Come on now. You can't tell me. I'm going to shine a little bit of light on this. You can't tell me that doesn't look good, you guys. Absolute goodness. Cheese grits. Cheese grits with pepperoni, American cheese, garlic, butter. Look at that. You see all that juice down there? That's absolute goodness if you ask me. Absolute goodness. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to start stirring it up. Let the cheese permeate inside of the grits. Get that going. Absolute goodness, right? Whoa. You got to be kidding me right now, right? Absolute. Oh, man, that smells good. I got to give me a bowl. All right? So I got a bowl. Right? So I got a bowl and I'm going to let that sit for a second while the ramen noodles finish cooking. All right, just stir up the noodles a little bit over here. Get that going. It's taking it quite a while. All right, get the noodles going right there. Oh man, they smell great. And I'm gonna add an egg to the noodle too. You know I always add eggs to my noodles. So I'm just gonna add an egg to that. Give me a second. You guys watch the food, make sure nothing burns, all right? Get an egg. gonna take an egg. Absolute goodness, you guys. That's right, Susie. Take an egg, put that in there, let that cook. Absolute goodness. All right, now while that's going, I'm gonna take the grits, the cheese grits, and I'm gonna pour it in here. Wow, that's good. I know Candy was like saying she likes the grits a little bit thinner, but I'm not one to make thin grits. All right, so I'm gonna put that in there. Absolute goodness. All right, and then I'm gonna add a little bit of salt to this. Boom. All right, got that in there. And then a little bit of Frank's hot sauce. Crazy absolute goodness, if you ask me. Thick grits, that's right. Look, a little hot sauce in there. Crazy good. And then to top it off, I'm going to add a little bit of butter. All right, put some butter in there. Absolute goodness. Just put that inside and just like let that melt. All right, now the noodles are done. And I'm out of dishes, right? So I am going to have to use a coffee cup for the noodles, okay? So I'm going to take the noodles and I'm going to be gentile when I put them in here, okay? Just place it because I don't want to make a mess. Place the noodles inside of the cup, just like that. Absolute goodness, okay? Here we go. Absolute goodness. All right, pour that in there. This is amazing. I generally like to eat ramen out of the noodles, out of the cup. That way I get the broth and I'm able to drink it like tea. And here's it. Oh man, I'm spilling it everywhere. All right. And so a little secret, add some broth to the grits. That's a secret, okay? I learned that in culinary school. All right. So now we have our complete dinner. We're going to go over it, okay? And add a little bit of, I'm going to zoom in a little bit for this. Zoom in. All right. This is dinner, okay? Add a little bit of Frank's Hot to the noodles. All right. And right there. And 1 second, I'm going to add some garnish. So I have some collard greens. All right. A couple collard greens. All right. Now this is for garnish, okay? So like, take that, roll it like that, and roll it up just like that, okay? All right. Add the garnish right there. And then take the other one, roll that up too. Like just like that. And then add this garnish to that right there. And there you have it. Dinner is served, okay? Absolute goodness. All right, so we have our cheese grits with pepperoni, a little bit of collard green garnish. We have ramen noodles in a cup with egg and a little bit of collard green garnish. And then we have our Italian side of the meal, where you have spaghetti with hot dog, hash brown scramble with corned beef hash, and then we also have the grilled jelly and peanut butter sandwich, where the jelly is on the top side, not the bottom side. And that's dinner. If you guys need me to make any more recipes, come up with something for your families or anything like that, just let me know. I'll be happy to. That's my dinner. I'm signing off. You guys have a good night.